So, super excited to be here today. I'm with Paul Stewart at the Pottery. Those who know me know how absolutely ecstatic I am about pottery. I actually tried it for the first time out of a joke. Like, I was just trying to discover myself, and it was one of those things that I was kind of like, I don't think I'll like this, but honestly, I don't know if I told you this story.
No, you didn't.
So what it was I was really just looking to kind of discover myself. I got really busy business-wise, and I was kind of like, but who are you as a person? What do you like? So I just went and tried several different things, archery, pottery, paint nights, like anything you can do to be like, what do I like? I think it's really important for us to like know what we like. So I came here, it's the Pottery on Runnymede in Toronto, and I fell in love with both. Wow, you did that quick. I fell in love with both Pottery and Paul. He's amazing, and I really wanted to introduce you guys to him. So this is Paul Stewart. Let's talk. I know a little bit about him myself, but let's get to know him a little bit more. Okay, Paul, so I want to know, how did you get into this industry?
Well, it's a bit of an odd one, I know. Most people don't grow up thinking, oh, I think I'll get into the big money world of pottery. However, my father, when I was about 12, decided on a semi-retirement project, and he got one of his secretary's lessons in pottery because he saw that she was quite good with her hands, and just did something to do after he closed his business.
What was his business?
He was in winemaking supplies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which again was a bit of an odd business at the time. But when she was taking classes, he kind of watched, and then he started taking them too.
Yes.
Because it was kind of interesting. He thought, well, maybe I can get into a slide business. And then it became his retirement project. He continued throwing and continued making pots. And so as of age 12, I kind of grew up with that, the whole craft show scene, the technology, how things are done. And then I went to university for urban planning. I wasn't, what 12-year-old kid wants to do what their parents do, right? And when I came back from Europe after being away for about a year or so.
Where in Europe did you go?
Everywhere.
Oh, good for you.
I worked in England, I traveled all over. And I just thought I was working for a little bit odd jobs, so I couldn't really decide what to do. So I just started mucking around with the clay, and that was it.
Okay, so did your dad teach you?
He tried to.
Yes.
I was a terrible student. He was not a great teacher. So what I did is I went into the studio when they were on holiday and I retaught.
Okay.
So he kind of got me started, but I thought, no, there's got to be a better way. And so I really started to micro-analyze. Okay, what am I trying to do to this piece of clay and how best to do it most efficiently? Because, for production potting, minimum effort, maximum speed is what you want. And so I watched other potters, and I took bits from here, took bits from there, created my own way of doing things, and kind of morphed it all together, and then really constantly analyzed. Could I make this faster? Instead of picking up a tool, could I do it with my finger? And so you'll probably notice I don't use a lot of tools, because every time you pick something up, that takes 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay.
And it really comes down to, when you're production potting, it really comes down to seconds. Because I read once the production schedule in this English pottery, so studio pottery. So these guys were producing 10 hours a day, 6.5 days a week.
Wow.
That was the Victorian work ethic, right? Well, it was enforced, it wasn't an ethic. One guy would be producing 30,000 pots a week.
A week?
A week. 30,000. That's a human machine.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I can't do that, but how did they do that? And so I just looked at all those little things. So I've really been able to break down how to make a pot into little sections. So then it makes it easier to explain to people. If you want to do this to the clay, this is where you're pushing and this is what the effect is.
Okay.
And if you're pushing the way you're pushing, this is what the effect is. And it's not necessarily what you want.
Yeah, it's not a pot anymore.
No, it's a nice little pile of mud.
Wow. Okay.
So that has helped a lot, actually. It was frustrating and it slowed me down for a lot of years. But having to teach yourself that way and really, really analyze it, I think makes a person a better potter and a better teacher, as opposed to just taking somebody else's technique and then just making it work.
Yes. Wow, so you're kind of self-taught.
Yeah, largely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are very efficient though. Like that didn't even take you much to reach over or anything.
Well, the little pots in the basket over there,
Yeah.
just as an example, a utility pot, I try to throw those about one every 15 seconds.
Make one of those?
Yeah, from start to finish for 15 seconds. So a bowl like this, when I'm rolling, you know, I plan to make about 50 or 60 of these in a day, minimum. Because that's what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
And the fast part is this, you know, when you have to then start glazing and trimming off the bottom and, you know, moving things around and loading and unloading kilns, and that's where actually most of the effort comes. Once you've done this for a lot of times, it's like I think I probably said to you when you came in the first time, you know, people say, oh man, you make it look so easy. And I tell people, yeah, but you make walking look easy.
Yeah.
Because you've done it so much.
It's a lifetime of doing this.
You can take a fork and you can get food from that plate into your mouth without stabbing yourself, only because you practice.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Not every time. Depends how hungry you are.
And walking can be an issue too sometimes, yeah. But, you know, for the most part.
For the most part, yes.
But who was it? I can't remember his name. Came up with this whole concept of 10,000 hours. To be good at something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours.
Wow.
And I buy that completely.
Yeah. Same.
Particularly with pottery, because this is one of the most difficult of the arts and the crafts to learn. It doesn't look it, but it is. We've tried it, you know.
That's exactly why I didn't think I'd like it, because I'm not very artsy crafty, but I am very spiritual, and I do really need I'm introvert extrovert, so I need my time to kind of recharge, reframe, and this was definitely that. I was very shocked with it.
It's funny, I'm actually the same. Introvert, extrovert, nobody gets that combination, but yeah, you can put yourself out there, but then it just tires you out.
Yeah, like, give me some space afterward. Like, that was enough extrovertness.
Well, remember how meditative this is?
Mm-hmm.
That spinning clay, it's not an art. This is a craft. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way.
Yeah.
This is a technical skill that anyone can learn. What you do with it can get artistic.
Yeah.
But the ability to make a pot, anyone can do it. It just takes practice. Art, you're either good at it or you're not. And you can teach yourself up to a certain level, but you can't really ever be a great artist if it's not really born into you.
Yeah.
Anyone can be a potter.
You feel?
Oh, absolutely. They wouldn't necessarily make the greatest shapes.
Yeah.
You know, that's where kind of an artistic sensibility comes in. But I've never failed to teach somebody to make pottery.
I think you're great at it.
Thank you. And I think that also comes, as I say, from really microanalyzing. And also remembering how difficult it was when I started.
Yeah.
I remember those frustrations. But I also remember the successes and that really sense of, you know, oh, this is so cool. I actually got a pot that's more than 2 inches high.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you look back at 2 inches, oh my God. But at the time, that was, you know, just, well, remember when you made that first pot? It's like, I can't believe I just did that.
I eat off of all my plates now, and I always, like, make a point to be like, I made that plate. Like, it feels so
It's
good.
a big deal.
It is.
Because if I just put somebody down on the wheel and handed them a piece of clay and said, you know, I'll be back, I'm going to get a coffee, good luck, they're not going to produce anything.
Anything.
Nothing. And even with my instruction, you know, it can be sketchy.
No.
But
I don't think so.
It's the time, though. What I mean is, it doesn't come, boom, immediately. It takes time to kind of build the awareness of what your hands are doing. And that comes through that meditation thing.
Yeah.
You know, you get so focused.
So what did you do before this?
Well, I've been doing this since I was about 25. So really, it came pretty soon after I finished graduating from university, going off to Europe for a year, and then coming back. And I worked for about a year just doing grunt work, just to pay bills.
Yep.
And then I made the decision to be a potter when my parents went away on vacation. I think I was telling you, I sat down in their studio, in my dad's studio, and just really worked on the throwing, and I got hooked on it. And at that point, I started working to purpose. So then I was working to buy equipment and to set up a studio.
Yeah.
So I bounced around a few different studios. I bought an existing store, a pottery business in East End, and that was a good jump start because I was supplying them wholesale, and then I heard the owner just wasn't making a go of it, and he wanted to sell it, the business, and I knew it could be done properly.
Yeah.
Not that I did a great job, but I did enough to make a decent living out of that for a while.
Yes.
Then the building sold and I had to move. So I bounce around. But I've been here now in this location for about 18 years.
Wow.
But I've been doing it for about 34. So just different places.
Wow. Okay. So you've met your expert here. One last thing. I see you have one last piece of clay.
Do you want to do something different this time?
Oh my God. What are you thinking?
What do you want?
What do you mean? Anything. I just want to see,
Okay.
like, I was kind of looking over here and kind of talking for half the time. I didn't get to see you in your elements.
Okay, let's do something a little bit stretchy this time.
Let's see it.
Let's do the bowls are nice because they kind of go stretching out, right? But
Yep.
we'll do something a little different so you've got something different visually.
I'm honestly always in awe of him, so I love to see him work. Ready to see it go down.
Something a bit different.
Yeah.
Tall work is harder than open work because
Okay.
Centrifugal force throws clay outwards. It wants to go out. So whenever you're making tall stuff, it's a little bit trickier. But let's just do something here.
Can you talk me through it?
Yeah. All I did there was I was centering the piece of clay to stop it from wobbling.
Okay.
Because you can't control the clay if it's moving around, right?
Yeah.
So it's not moving around. So I stuck my hand in to open it up. So I've created a bottom. Now I'm literally just grabbing it with my left hand. This is a bit of an unusual technique.
Yes.
So I just grabbed it and I just forced the clay through my fingertips as I went up. So that gets a big chunk of clay up to start. And now I'm just pinching again. I've got one finger on the outside, one finger on the inside. The inside finger is just a little bit hooked under the outside finger. Now I've got a wobble, so I have to get rid of that. There we go. And I'll just keep coming up. I made
Doing
it.
great.
I made it, yeah, I'm fine. I just made it a little too thin down the bottom there. Usually, I try and throw as thin as I can. And so, I'm looking for pieces that are about 1/8 of an inch or just more, a little more than 1/8 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
And if you get going too early, like all the weight from above, all that clay is pressing down on the bottom part there. And if it gets, you saw that belly forming?
Yeah.
Well, once you get that belly forming, all that weight starts to collapse it.
Okay.
So I have to strengthen it because that down there is only about that thick. It's
Yes.
really quite thin. And it's saying, ha ha ha, you think you can keep throwing above me? No. I'm going to show you who's boss.
This is why it gets like very meditative. I don't even know if that's a word, and I keep saying it.
Meditative, yeah, definitely.
That's a word.
It is a word.
Oh, and super soothing, because like, just as we said, you do one thing wrong with your hand or your finger, and it shows you who's boss, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a communication where we have a little conversation.
It's an energy transfer. You
Yeah.
and this clay need to be on the same page.
Oh, yeah. We're talking the whole time. And I'm asking it to do things, and it's kind of telling me how it's feeling about that.
Oh.
And then I decide, oh, okay, so you're not too happy about that? Let's change the plan a little bit here. Except that when I'm making production items, things that I make all the time,
Yeah.
then it's just, my hands and the clay just know exactly what they're doing, and they just do it.
Wow.
This one I'm just playing a little bit with the shape to see if I can get something a little different for you.
It's beautiful.
And then
Like, really beautiful.
I'm going to shape it more so it's a more even bulbous shape because that's what I'm looking for. And the clay is telling me, yeah, maybe I'll give it to you, maybe I won't. I haven't decided if I like you or not.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
So, closer to the top,
Yeah.
it looks like a lighter colored clay. Closer to the bottom looks a little darker. Is that because of how much clay is in each area?
No, that's water content.
Okay.
See, I took the extra water, the slurry, the mud, if you like, off the outside down at the bottom there.
Okay.
And so that has compressed the clay particles, and it's also dried out the surface. So you're getting less light refracting off the surface of the clay, whereas the top here is still wet. And so you're getting, it's like wet paint, right? You know how wet paint always looks lighter
Yes.
until it dries?
Yes.
Same thing. This clay, if I were to dry this out, it will look the same as the bottom. No, you can't, no, wouldn't that be great if you could tell how thick the walls were based on the color of the clay?
Oh, I know.
That'd be so great because then students could, I could say, you see that thick spot? You got to work on that, and then they could see it. But
Is there an item that you like making the best?
I think bowls.
Yeah?
There's something nice about the volume of a bowl.
I like how you did that. I saw that you put your fingers in so it would like create a lip. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera.
So this is where it says, no, I'm not playing anymore.
Oh, because it did
It sagged.
sink back in.
Yep. But it's actually kind of a cool shape. I may
I
or may
like
not keep
it.
it. I'll
Very
see.
cool.
It's still centered, so I might just keep that.
I like it.
You know, the other thing too is when it's a little drier, I can stick my finger in there and I might be able to lift it right back up again.
Very cool. What is the hardest thing you feel in pottery?
There's two answers to that really,
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Teapots, they're not big, but they're very complicated. To make a teapot that pours a nice stream and it doesn't drip or run back is hard to do. It's engineering, and it takes a lot of awareness of what's going on in your piece to make it work properly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for me, it's big things.
Okay.
So making really large vessels, manipulating that big mass of clay. Some people are fine with it. You know, they get into it and they've trained themselves to work it. I'm more a repetition thrower. I throw small stuff fast.
Got it.
So when I work on a big piece, it's harder for me. I struggle a little. But teapots I've nailed. But a lot of pottery, nothing bugs me more than a teapot that doesn't pour properly.
So can you tell me, in terms of a teapot, because I'm just learning this, like, for you to get those little spots in the interior of a teapot, are those two separate steps and stages, or are you working inside out?
Well, a teapot is actually a series of parts, right?
Right.
You throw the body, you throw the spout, you throw a lid, and you can either throw or pull a handle. So the spout, once the teapot body dries, you flip it over, you take a knife and you trim off, clean up the bottom, and then you drill holes where the spout's going to go. Then you attach the spout.
Okay.
Smooth it into the body, attach the handle, smooth it into the body, and then finally get your lid to fit in there.
So several different steps and parts.
Yeah.
And okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you drill a hole, you have to then also get inside there and clean it up. Otherwise, loose tea will get stuck in there and you can't clean it properly. So it's also all about the angle of the spout, the aperture, how sharp an edge or not you put on it. All sorts of little things. Water flow, you have to be very aware of how big the hole, like how much area is covered by the little holes you've drilled versus the opening. I mean, teapots are tricky. And a lot of amateurs jump the gun and they make really bad teapots.
Got it.
In fact, there's even professionals. I've picked up other potters' work, and I know just by looking now whether teapot's going to pour properly or not. And you know, even people who've been doing this for a long time, like, oh, it's not going to pour.
It's tricky.
It is.
Wow, I didn't really, it's not something that, at least for me, I've like looked at a teapot and been like, this was massively crafted.
You wouldn't know until you pour it.
Oh,
That's the
even
trick.
worse.
A teapot can be a beautiful looking thing,
And it doesn't work.
and if it doesn't work, then it's worth crap.
Nuts.
See, I'm a functional potter. If it
Yeah.
doesn't function,
There's no sense in
there's
it.
no point.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of it.
Okay, well, that makes 1,000,000% sense. I loved sitting here talking with you, learning all about it, and learning more about you. Is there anything else that you want to add? Oh, sorry.
No. Try it sometime.
Please
it's a lot
try
of
it.
fun.
It is one of the most fun things that I've ever tried. I was shocked by it. If you guys are interested, please come see Paul. He's amazing. If you have any questions, reach out to one of us, and I'm sure we'll be happy to kind of let you know more about it.
Yeah, if you need to reach me, just go through the website. My email's there, information's there, pictures of my work are there.
I'll definitely be adding his link to this video, and there'll be more information below. So any questions, just reach out, and we look forward to talking to you. Have a good day. Your clay hands waving. Do it again. Thank you guys. Have a good day.